sun coming up. It's kind of pretty out there. Figure I might as well show you. I don't know if you can't see how red it looks in the camera. I don't know, doesn't do it justice. It's just a big red ball of fire, apparently. Bought a set of knives last week when I had my nieces and nephews, and I bought a cheap set, to be honest. They were like $30. I don't know. I think they might be what I need. It's a set of scissors. It's got some steak knives. The handles don't feel very satisfying carrying, or holding, I mean. You can tell they're kind of cheap. They fit sort of loosely in this block. It's Farberware, and it was like $30, but I don't know. Money's tight, and my needs are not real high. I don't do a lot of fancy schmancy cooking. Also got a cutting board. Got coffee grounds on it. It's reversible. It's got a little rubbery stick thing on the outside, and obviously white and black. So I'm starting to feel like an adult here in my apartment. An adult with a cheap knife set. Uh-oh, my cutting board started sliding down. But can you really put a valuation on a man by his knife set? Maybe you can. Maybe you can. If somebody does, that's okay. You know, I talk a lot about putting on airs and not putting on airs anymore, or not pretending. And I mean, that knife set's kind of where I'm at. It's functional. It was reasonable. Does the job. I don't do a lot of cooking. Who am I gonna fool and pretend to be a chef to get a woman or something like that? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm just gonna keep being me. Morning, Fred. Oh. Grab a seat. Oh. Let's say it's just a quiet morning, just Fred and me. Fred from the beautiful southern, there's the sun, cornfields of Indiana. It's weird when I put my head in front of this or something, I didn't there, but like there. Oh, it's still beautiful. There's the sunrise. Maybe we should just watch from this angle for a little while. Might blind you. You might not want it. What's on my phone? I don't know. Retouch off. I accidentally touched something on the side of my phone. Retouch on. Does anyone know? Do I want retouch off or retouch on? Not totally sure what it does, this retouch. I'm not totally sure what it does. And, yeah. Wonder why that's there. What's the time? Let's see. Well, I'll just get started. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It is August 1st. It is 6:09 a.m. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. This is a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, kind of just sharing some of life's adventures, things we do, fears we have, decisions we make, mistakes we make. You know, whoa, the usual. But for those that have been watching a while, you know this is not just a show. Good morning from the United Kingdom. This is not just a show about me talking. Love back to you from India. Somebody said love from India. Good morning, Charlotte. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I'm so excited to have my first sip at this early hour on this Friday morning. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. It's a Beyond Black dark roast by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Good morning from Northwest Ohio. Good morning, Big Mayo. For those who watched my show yesterday, you knew I had a little tint of a cold, and I still kind of do. Got some congestion, little plugged ears, little scratchiness in the throat. I went to Starbucks last night. I tried to pick up some work, but for some reason I wasn't able to. I think things happen for a reason, so I went to Starbucks instead. Got a venti Earl Grey coffee, Earl Grey tea with 5 packs of honey. They asked if I wanted them to put the honey in. I said, I can do it. I understand. I feel bad for you guys squeezing out these packs of honey in my coffee. It must be it must not, I don't know, a pain in the butt, I think. I don't know. When I do it in my own tea, I always get a little sticky, and my fingers get all sticky. I don't like the way sticky fingers feel. And if you're doing it for somebody else and having to do 5 packs of honey, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, oh yeah, I had a little bit of a cold yesterday, and I think I still do, just a little bit. And the tea felt really good, and I'm not sure how great the coffee really feels today, but I'm gonna keep drinking and see if it works out just okay, because I think it will. Oh, I'll tell you, the hot water, the hot coffee going down in my throat feels nice. And yeah. So it's Friday morning. Sometimes I tell you what, I don't know, I have a more active mind. Sometimes I have a more quiet mind. And I would assume a more active mind makes for a more fun show for you guys. My thoughts bouncing around a lot, but woke up a little bit ago, was kind of hoping to get some more sleep, but I woke up a few times during the night, but each time I drifted off into a deep sleep with dreams, which was nice. Last couple days, or actually a few weeks, have been filled with some anxiety and kind of some fear for me as I worked towards something, and it kind of came to a head on Wednesday, and wasn't feeling real good yesterday about the resolution, or at least the temporary resolution, and I was feeling like I needed to talk to everybody and reach out to friends and say, what should I do? What's best? Where do I go from here? But as my day went on yesterday, and I started to calm down a little bit, and I don't know, got some good sleep last night, and feeling good this morning. So a little more coffee. Drink rum. It works well. What does rum work well for? What does rum work well for? Captain Coke was a tasty drink. But other than that, yeah. I mean, what's rum in? What is rum in? Is rum in margaritas? No, that's tequila. I don't know. I don't know what rum works for. Pirates. Luke Shepard says pirates. Why'd they drink rum? Why would pirates drink rum? Maybe that's what they drank a long time ago. Yeah. Oh. So again, it's Friday morning. I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. I moved here about 6 months ago. They have a big event every year called the Mile of Music. I didn't really know what it was. And I assumed it was just this massive street fest with like bands and concerts set up all over. And it might be a little bit of that. And there was a ton of activity in the town last night and people walking around and what have you. And there was an area, we have Houdini Plaza. Harry Houdini is from Appleton, Wisconsin, the famous escape artist. But anyway, Houdini Plaza is just a couple blocks that way, and there was a stage set up there, but I never actually made it to the plaza. I was walking that way, walking towards where I figured all the activity would be, and a bar restaurant I'd heard about, or I think it might just be a bar, I'm not sure. Turned out it opened up. I guess last night might have been the opening night. Not totally sure. It was called the Vault 202 Brewery. And I said, well, I had a friend send me a link to it a few nights ago and had heard about it and was kind of curious about it. They've been doing a lot of work since I've been here. There's a big building right on the corner where Chase Bank is. And I believe Chase Bank sold them or leased out a lot of their retail space or office space or whatever. And there's this massive bar called Vault 202 Brewery. The deal with it and the draw with it, and I'm not totally sure. I mean, it's a neat thing to look at, but apparently it was a bank like 100 years ago. And you go down these stairs and there's this massive vault door, and I do mean massive. Hard to really describe it. But I mean, it's probably 1.5 feet thick and it's a circle, like 7-8 feet around at least, maybe. I don't know, must weigh several tons, I would bet. And it's open, and it opens into this room, which was the vault for this bank. And there's a lot of, I mean, it's a fairly sizable space. They have some tables set up down there, and there was one group of people having drinks down there in the vault itself. But to me, it felt like a tomb a little bit. You know, there's no windows, I mean, it's a cool name for a bar, but I just don't see having, you know, I don't know why I would want to go into a vault in a basement to have drinks with friends, outside of to be able to say I've done it. And I did it. So I don't know that I'll have a great need to go back except to give tours. I did go back upstairs, and the bar was kind of a big regular bar, good activity, a lot of, I mean, not a crazy amount, but a nice amount of people there, and got myself some non-alcoholic beer that I'd never heard of. It was tasty. Kind of sat at a table by myself and drank my beer and did some people watching and enjoyed that. Then I headed across the street to a bar I've gone a few times by the name of Cleo's. And it's a pretty famous, popular bar in Appleton. It's Christmas light themes. They have a million nutcrackers up there. The whole bar is filled with Christmas lights. 365 days out of the year. And they have a beer I'd only tried last time I went in, a Guinness non-alcoholic. And it's nice. It's nice. I had a couple women not come up to me, I'm not saying they were hitting on me, but asked me what I was drinking. And I just told them a Guinness. It's kind of nice saying that. Then one of the women offered me a shot. And I said, well, I actually don't drink. I'm sure it was confusing to her. She told me I was in the wrong place there. But either way, it was nice being out. I don't get out too often. And it felt nice getting out of the house and kind of being part of the community for a little bit. And had a good time, so. Oh, that's nice. So it's Friday morning. I get to go to work today. It's been strange. I think part of the reason I've been a little stressed, I mean, I know I've got something kind of significant going on in my life, but we always have things going on in our life. And granted, I'm not going to give you the details. What I'm dealing with now is very personal and very important to me and some people I love. And I feel in the midst of it, and an important player in this drama, if you will, and it doesn't only affect me. So I feel a great deal of responsibility and therefore some stress involved. But I think part of the reason the last week or two has been a little challenging for me. I moved to Appleton in February. I've started working at one job and worked hard and kind of made friends and do well and what have you. But another job opportunity opened up for me, and I've been trying to transition from one to the other. And in that transitional period, there's a period that I'm in the midst of where I don't have a lot of work at either job. So I feel the two work families I've created, the two work families I've created aren't there for me, and I don't feel fully attached to either of them. And maybe that's okay. Maybe if you're smart, you don't get too fully attached to work families or what have you, because those change. And just in the few months I've been at job one, probably half the employees probably just about half have left. And it's kind of the nature of life. I went out, I was talking about it yesterday. I met a buddy out for coffee yesterday morning. And he seems like he's doing real well. I think he's doing real well, but he seemed distracted or unhappy or not content. Great guy, but didn't have this happy at ease glow about him that I'd like to see a friend have. And he talked about various relationships, work relationships, personal relationships. And he said, maybe the only relationship you can really trust is that with Jesus. He's a spiritual guy, and I'm on a spiritual journey. But I said, I think that's the way it's supposed to be designed. I think that's what the purpose is. And I don't want to say there's a purpose to spirituality or religion or Christianity, but believing that there's some perfect being, spirit, creator of all things out there that loves you is a good feeling. Even if you don't all the way believe it. Fred Hink, good morning, Julie Flanagan. Fred Hinkle says, just give it time, it will work out for me. I know, Fred. Big Mayo was let go yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. You were let go yesterday. Not seeing your work family ever is the toughest part for me. And I'm sorry, Big Mayo. You've been a good supporter of mine. I don't know you personally. I've never spoken to you. But you seem like a good guy. And you bring up your work family that you're going to be apart from. I think most of us immediately think about your finances. And I hope you have your financial ducks in a row, at least better than I have over the last several years. So for so long, people would tell me to get 2 jobs. And I was living in Illinois. I was have 2 little ones, and I had parenting time 3 days a week with them, and I was working 1 job, and people were telling me to get another job. And I was going, look, I can barely do what I'm doing right now. And lo and behold, here I am in Wisconsin, and I have 2 jobs, and I'm not fully working at either right now. So my hours have gone from like 50 hours a week to like 25 to 30 in the last 2 weeks. And that's not enough for me, but 50 or 60, whatever I was doing a few weeks ago, was probably too much. But either way, it has me feeling out of sorts a little. But what I was saying is, the nice thing about having 2 jobs is you don't totally need either of them. You need one of them. You know what I mean? It gives you such a feeling of, sort of you're a slave to work, yes, but if you kind of enjoy it, you're not really a slave. But the fact that if you could, what's the song? Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Just the knowledge that you can do it, even if you never would. It's kind of a nice feeling. Good morning, Opal. Big Mayo said, thank AI. It's interesting you bring up AI. Okay, I was panicked yesterday. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't sleep. I was calling friends, going, help, what should I do? And I talked to a friend, and he'd mentioned a restaurant that was opening up in Wisconsin that I could apply at. I've been a waiter before, and it's a high-end Italian place not too far from where I live, and he knew the owners back in Chicago. And he mentioned applying there because he knew it was a real nice restaurant in Chicago, and the meals were pretty expensive, and he thought I could do real well there. And I go, well, I'd have to rework my resume. Here's what I got to do. I got to get on this website. I got to update it and this and that. And it goes, well, just have AI do it. I go, well, I don't know really what that means. And he goes, well, just go to Google Gemini or Chat GPT. And I go, well, how do I do that? And I'm sure in the back of my mind he's thinking, how am I friends with this idiot? But he was patient and didn't say that. So he worked me through it and told me how to go to Google Gemini, which I'd never done, and how to copy my resume, Command C, I think, and then Command V, click it onto the Google Gemini chat thing. And there suddenly a mini version of my resume was on there that apparently AI can read. And then you can start telling AI, Google Gemini, to start doing things with your resume. Turn my resume into a resume for a server at a high-end Italian restaurant. Something like that. And then lo and behold, in like 20 seconds, my resume came from some mishmash talking about real estate into some, overly qualified applicant for a high-end Italian restaurant. I had to tell it to ease off, that I don't have an extensive culinary knowledge or wine knowledge. And I had to remove some of the puffery that it gave me. But either way, I felt suddenly empowered, if you will, that I had the ability to at least scratch the surface and use AI. And it got me forward thinking. I asked my buddy how it could help me grow my social media platform. And he goes, ask Gemini, don't ask me. So I did. And I think it evaluated my page, said, well, you're going live a lot. I'd recommend editing those and making shorts and reels and TikToks to expand your audience. I go, well, I'm already doing that. And it gave me some other tips, but nothing. I was just scratching the surface and playing around with it. But it made me feel powerful and more capable about myself, like I could learn something, even though I am an old dog. And also, if I wanted to apply for a job as a whatever, I knew how to put together a resume for free in a short period of time that was targeted towards that specific job I was applying for. You know, not that I wanted the car sales job, but I bet you I could have told Gemini, I guess, to create a job tailored, or a resume, tailored towards car sales, or high-end luxury car sales, or Korean economical car sales, or whatever. And I bet I could have done a heck of a job. But again, I think the biggest issue with that is I didn't really want the job. And I didn't really want to sit in a car dealership, hoping somebody would come in that I could talk to. So yeah. My coffee is getting a little cold. Let's go get some more. Let's go get some more. I'm not even gonna put you guys down. Let's see how my flowers are doing. I tell you, I'm not sure. I actually don't even really believe they are, but I think my little mini roses are starting to do better. You can't tell. I'll keep you posted. But I transitioned them from a little baby pot that they came in into a kind of mid-sized pot a few days ago on a video. And I think they're doing pretty well. Well, while I'm doing this, I might as well see how everybody else is doing. Here's my hibiscus. It doesn't, the flowers, again, it flowers spectacularly, but the flowers don't last very long. But again, here's a new flower coming. I rotated a little bit because I think you probably should rotate your plants periodically so they don't only grow in one way. This guy's kind of the tall, dark, and quiet type. He doesn't really say much or require much. Obviously, there's Monstera back here that we named Erin after my oldest daughter. I've rotated that as well. So most of the, I guess I'll call it foliage, is over here. But I wanted it to, grow a little more evenly. So I think they're all doing well. Hello from Scotland. How are you, Pat Farmer? I kind of remember I visited, I think flowers grow really well in Scotland, Pat Farmer. I don't know if you've been here before, or if you're really from Scotland, or if your name's really Pat Farmer. But let's just say that it is. I think flowers do really well in Scotland. And I remember visiting my Grandpa Peter and Grandma Peggy in Wallingford, which is right outside of Edinburgh. Not right outside, probably 15 miles outside of Edinburgh. And she had beautiful flowers in her little front lawn area. And there's a clock, or at least there used to be a clock, in Edinburgh made up entirely of flowers. And it was just beautiful, beautiful. It was right down at the base of this big castle in the middle of the city. So yeah, welcome from Scotland. All right, well, we'll keep going with the sunrise a little bit. Yeah, Pat, you get great flowers in Scotland because they get so much water, right? I mean, they don't, apparently, flowers, what's more importantly for flowers is a lot of water, and they don't care too much about sun, because although my roses are supposed to get a lot of sun, they were spectacular in my grandma's yard or garden, I remember, and they were beautiful. So, what a glorious audience we have today. It's been a little quieter audience over the last week or two, and maybe quiet's okay. Maybe I'd grown too fast and too furiously, and I was getting, 70, 80 people on, and I think some people were actually here for non-benign purposes. And maybe we've lost a few, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, Pat, I've been to, my mother grew up there, so have a very big soft spot for Scotland. People often ask, where's the favorite place in the world? And I'll usually say Edinburgh. And I don't know if it's for the city itself or just for my memories of playing with my cousins over there. It's funny, I'm Facebook friends with several cousins that I haven't seen in 30 years. And they've grown and had their own lives. And one of the cousins I was closest with has, I think, 3 big yellow labs or golden retrievers. I think they have long hair, so they must be Goldens, but they almost look the color of a yellow lab. He seems to be doing well. Good morning, Destiny. You live in Edinburgh. Really cool city. Oh, good morning, Maria. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining this morning. I usually talk for about an hour. I don't know that I need to talk for an hour. A lot of times I'll be signing off and people will be hopping on and saying, stay on a little longer. I don't know why anyone wants to watch me drink coffee. Why do you guys want to watch me drink coffee? I have some people that don't like me online, and it's so funny because for years, they'll insult my videos and tell them the internet's not a place to share every thought I have. Because I'll post some videos that are I just posted a video on YouTube and TikTok that's like 6 minutes long, and it's a conversation I had about fruit. And I think the title of the video was Talking Fruit. And I talk about fruit. And people are talking to me about like freezing oranges and putting them in drinks, and if I like grapes and where to get the best fruit. And it's really just a 6-minute conversation about various aspects of fruit. But either way, and that often is the content of my stuff. So when I have people say that this isn't the place, you don't need to share everything, I just don't really get it. I mean, I kind of get it, but they obviously don't need to watch. You don't have sugar in my coffee. How come? Why don't I have sugar in my coffee? I've never put sugar in my coffee. I mean, I don't know if I've literally ever put sugar in my coffee. I put cream in it, and I'll put cream in it from time to time. Pat Farmer says he likes it. It's not too deep. Sometimes I get deep. I had a guy say, oh, I don't like it when you talk politics or religion. Told him maybe today's show, the other day's show wasn't for him because it's where it's going. It goes where it goes. There's a guy who wears a dirty toilet seat around his neck who has 250 grand subs. Something for everyone on YouTube. Huh. Maybe that's why my show doesn't have 250 grand subscribers. Maybe that's why I only have moderate growth and moderate audience, because it's kind of a moderate, non-spectacular show. People say do a backflip or, sing for me or put in requests for me. And I go, nah, I'm not a trick pony. I'm just a guy talking. Somebody said flavored creamer is all you need. Nah, I'll tell you the problem, and we all know it. It's a stressor when you get hooked on creamer, especially the flavored kind, because I know it tastes good. It makes the coffee really tasty. But I needed to break away from that, because I realized occasionally my creamer would run low and I would not have restocked it at the grocery store. And it caused me great stress not having my flavored creamer to put in my coffee in the morning. So now, because I drink it black, all I gotta know is, do I have coffee filters? And do I have coffee? And both of those last a while flavored creamers go quickly. If I catch a beat at the Mile of Music, will I shake a leg? Do I like to dance? I definitely wouldn't say I like to dance. I used to dance when I was drunk. And I used to sing when I was drunk, and I probably was obnoxious when I was drunk. But I'm more outgoing and spirited now that I'm not. I don't know that I'd want to dance necessarily. I'm not saying I absolutely wouldn't. And maybe the inner me has some dancing in him. But I don't know. Do I have a donut with my coffee? No. I don't have a donut with my coffee. I have some Pop-Tarts up in the cabinet behind me. A donut sounds tasty. I try and stay away from completely useless crap like donuts. Because I love them. I love them, don't get me wrong, but I'll have one and I'll have four and then I won't feel very good. But I love them, but they're just calories. And you need calories, I know you do. But I try and get my calories through eating meat or fruit. It's my strategy. Pat Farmer, are you a man or a woman? Natalie said it's a wise choice. Yeah, because it's hard. Oh, hey, Ralph Perry. I don't even know who Ralph Perry is, but he just sent me 99 cents. Thank you, Ralph Perry. It's very kind of you. You do need calories, and I don't think we should count calories. I don't think counting calories is a good strategy if you're trying to lose weight. I think your focus should be not on calories, because what you focus on expands. And if you're focused on calories or even losing weight, you're focusing on the weight itself. I think if you focus on being hungry more often and feeling the pangs of hunger, That's the easiest way to lose weight. Ralph Perry is a Marine. Somebody asked me at the bar last night if I was a Marine. I don't know, do I have a military look? Is it because my hair, I'm bald? Do I look like a Marine? I'm not nearly tough enough to be a Marine. I had a guy who was a former soldier. I think he was in the Army. The guy I met yesterday was served for 21 years. And he was joking, and he was talking about going to cause some trouble. And he asked, when's the last time I've been in a street brawl? And I said, never. You know, I think I could probably hold my own, but I just don't like conflict. Let's see. My style when I was young. Somebody thinks that I wore baggies and platforms, polyester shirt. You don't think I'd look like a 70s dude. If anything, all right, I'm twice divorced. My ex-wife used to make fun of my clothes. I think she might have called them old man clothes, but they weren't old man clothes. They were just, I think when a man ages, he's most fashion aware at like 25, let's say. I'm making that up. So whatever style was in when the man was 25 is kind of the style I think he might hold on to the rest of his life. So she'd make fun of me. I'd wear these khaki pants and like a golf shirt, because that's what people did in the early 90s when they kind of wanted to look, what is it called? Casual, professional, or whatever it's called. And so that was my go-to style. I started making some money, and I started wearing some nice suits and nice ties and nice shirts, but I didn't really know. I'm kind of a jeans and button-down untucked shirt these days. And like if I feel I'm gonna go out, Julie's watching. I first came to Wisconsin in February, as I said, and my thought at the time was I was going to move to Oshkosh, and I was going to get a waiter job. And I stayed at Julie's house with she and her husband, and we were going to go out. I just pulled in that morning. It was a snowy and cold morning in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I took a shower because I thought I should, because I was going to go find a job. At least that was my plan. Came out, and I was wearing like a button-down white shirt, because that's kind of my go-to when I want to look nice, but not too nice, which I think is the vibe you should probably throw out on a lot of interviews that are for a variety of interviews, such as waiting tables, also maybe a variety of dates. So I think my go-to clothes would be jeans and a button-down shirt, untucked. But anyway, my point is, I walk out of the shower and Julie goes, "Whoa, you're all dressed up." I said, "Well, thought we were looking for a job." And then I went into the closet or into my room and came out, and I had like I think it's called a pea coat. It's one of those kind of mid-length coats that goes down between your waist and your knees, I guess. Then she thought I was really dressed up. I must have been too dressed up, because I was overdressed for the jobs and didn't feel any of the jobs. The restaurants we walked into in Oshkosh would have been right for me. And never worked in Oshkosh, and came up to Appleton a few days later, and here I am. It's a power outfit. It exudes authority and pheromones, and may intimidate the gritty Oshkosh populace. I don't know that it would intimidate anybody. I don't know if the Oshkosh populace is gritty. I've often said Appleton, downtown Appleton's got some grit, and I like it. I was in Naperville in the western suburbs of Chicago. It was scrubbed clean and polished of all grit. All its stores were new. All its citizens were beautiful and college educated with 2.5 kids and an Audi. And it just felt so me, honestly. You know, like everybody had the same backstory as me, except I was twice divorced. Most of these people still were married. And I'm going, wow, I guess I've been cast out of the club of the college educated, fairly financially successful, happily married person with 2.5 kids. And I felt I didn't fit anymore. I was on the outside looking in, pressing my nose up to the glass, going, hey, I still want to be a part of your club. Sorry, Ken. Our wives set up an evening out. You no longer have a wife. As a matter of fact, your ex-wife and her new husband are going with us. No. And then I brought myself up to Appleton, Wisconsin. In a heavily Christian area, do you think the divorces made you? How come I get some new named person that always asks these strange questions using strange words? I have a feeling Maria Fletcher, who's on my show right now, is like the 10th version of the same person that likes to ask these questions. Did my divorces make me a pariah? No, not the divorces itself, but my social scene was not that of my friends anymore. I think generally women make a lot of decisions for the men. I think that's half the reason men get married, so they don't have to make the decisions and they can let their wives make all the decisions. So the women would chat amongst themselves and create plans. And the guys would go and they'd see their buddies and they'd have a couple drinks and a nice dinner and have a good time. But honestly, I couldn't afford most of the time. I think the divorces and my job volatility caused me not to be able to afford to run with them and hang out with them and spend $100 on a dinner or go to golf trips to Ireland. All right, Big Mayo, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Would I prefer to be solitary? You mean in a relationship? I'd prefer to have my children here. I miss my children. I have 4 beautiful kids. So I would give up the freedoms of solitary to be with my kids a heck of a lot more. But I'm not so sure I want to be in a relationship. Maybe if I find the right girl, I'll be in a relationship, but so far I haven't, so. Just have to do my thing. Focus on work, focus on spirituality, coffee with Ken, my financial status, spending more time with my little ones, keeping my apartment clean, waiting for season 6 of The Chosen. Still bummed about that. That's probably why I went out last night. If there was already a season 6 of The Chosen, I would have probably just stayed on my couch and watched TV. But I don't know what to do. For the last 3 weeks, I've been watching like a couple episodes of The Chosen every night. And suddenly, it's gone. Is marriage hard work, and do you think it's a trap? I mean, marriage isn't a trap. I mean, some people seem to do really well with it. Most of my friends are still, you know, I think we say happily married. You know, I'm not totally sure they're any happier than me. I think it's probably an easier life if you stay married and you have a partner, but sometimes if you don't see eye to eye with that partner, it's not easy at all. And I didn't see eye to eye with my ex-wife at all. Would I get a dog or cat one day? I'd love to get a dog again. I don't think I really want a cat. I mean, I'm just picturing a cat creeping over there, coming around, and then darting off for some crazy reason. Who knows what he saw or what he sensed? But you know what I mean. They spook me a little bit. I love animals. But I don't think cats really like us. I think they should be out in trees chasing birds and squirrels. I really kind of do. Behind the scenes is what the worry is with a wife, seems to me. I don't know what that means. What was the last movie I saw at the theater? It was The Accountant 2, which was very good. I talked about going to see Superman. I talked about going to see F1. I even talked about going to see the new Jurassic Park movie. But I didn't. I still could, but now as quickly as things get out of the theater and as quiet as movie theaters are these days, I don't know. Some of the excitement may be worn off going to the theater. You know, it used to be something you'd go with your girlfriend or your wife, and you'd get there early and you'd make sure you got a good seat or got popcorn or whatever. But now I go and it's like a ghost town. It feels funny. I should go see Superman with my kids. You got 3 cats. And they all just want to be close to you constantly. Obsidian, do you want to know why those cats want to be close to you? Because they're each hoping you're one day that you die of a heart attack and they can eat you. If Dollar Store had their own knockoff brand of Mr. Clean, it would feature Ken on the box. Well, I had somebody famous reach out to me yesterday. I'm not going to tell you who. But on a social media platform. And say that I caught their attention and hope it was okay. It's kind of interesting. Oh. Do I have to pay an extra fee to have kids in the apartment or rent, like a pet fee? I don't think, certainly not if they're visiting. I don't think I'd have to pay extra. I'd probably need if I had my kids, I have 4 kids, if any of them lived with me, I would need another bedroom. So having a 2-bedroom would probably cost a little more than a 1-bedroom. But honestly, there's a 3-bedroom in here. It's not, my income isn't matching the income they want for that. It was actually supposed to be a set aside for, I don't know, people with like a lower income for whatever reason, but the rent was cheaper than I'm paying for a 1-bedroom. But I really like my apartment. I really like my apartment. Did I meet my friend for coffee yesterday? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It was good. He was the guy that owned the hotel that I was staying at when I first got here. He's a cool guy, a nice guy. He and I have some similarities. He's obviously very cool and very handsome because he and I are similar. But yeah, that was nice because I reached out to him And I said, hey, what do you need? And he goes, maybe meet for coffee. And I go, do you want to do it tomorrow at 9? And he was there. So it was neat. A movie about the director of The Chosen. No. There's a movie about that? I know there's a documentary that features the guy that played Jesus in The Chosen. I watched episode 1. I'm not sure I love it because part of me likes to think of him as Jesus and doesn't want to see the behind the scenes of him talking without his Jesus accent. Oh. No, I didn't see that there's a new movie that he directed coming out. I don't know if I care about the director so much. I'm not saying I don't. But I think that was a really good story. A really good story. And I'm mad at it because I thought I would just watch it to the end. And now I'm just like one of you folk that has to wait. It's a Jesus movie. I don't know that I need a Jesus movie. I think The Chosen was perfect for me. It was in these little 45-minute bites for 3 weeks. Although I will say, I went to sleep watching a documentary on the 12 apostles yesterday. I don't know when they're disciples and when they're apostles. Thinking about Judas. He was really a big disappointment. I don't think it ends well for him. Yeah. What do we got going? How many people are watching? Oh, we got 61 people watching. We have a glorious audience today. Just a glorious audience. We got 22 thumbs up. We got 99 cents in the kitty. Yeah. Did I watch Fantastic Four? Now, I'm not totally sure about the superhero movies. I either love them or don't care about them at all. And I think Fantastic Four might be one of the ones I throw in the I don't care about them at all. Loved like the original Superman movies back with Christopher Reeves. Loved the Batman, a few Batman movies. But yeah, I have no real desire. Wait, you watched Hamilton, the musical? You watched the Hamilton, like the musical last night, Julie Flanagan? I think I tried to watch it. I don't think I loved it at all. I don't think I did watch it. I watched like a little bit of it. Still love you, Julie. You and I are different. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I didn't give it a chance. I wasn't in the mood. I was a different person. Everyone says it's amazing. Yeah, everyone says it's like it was wonderful and it was like the hottest thing on, I don't know if it was on Broadway, but in Chicago. You used to love watching the Superman with Christopher Reeves with your pa. Yeah, Superman 2 was probably my favorite of the Superman Christopher Reeves movies. The first one was good, but the second one I think was really good. They had some good bad guys in that. General Zod was a good bad guy. So anyway, it's Friday morning, 7 o'clock. I get to work today. Teeter wants to talk more about Superman too. I'll tell you, he's bringing up the Niagara Falls scenes. There's a scene, and you're going to have to really, for anybody, you won't believe me, but listen to me when I tell you this. if you watch Superman 2, there's a scene in it where a kid falls in the river upstream from the waterfall, where you do not want to fall in a river, let me tell you. And he goes over the waterfall, and Clark Kent runs and flies out as Superman and catches him as he's falling down the waterfall. And if you listen very closely, you'll hear a woman say something along the lines of, "I told you he was Jewish." That's all I got about that. You got to listen real closely. Again, it's when Superman's flying down to save a child. I don't know if it's supposed to be in there, and I think it probably was. I'll bet you there was, I don't know, Jewish director, producer, or whatever that made a joke of it. But it was in there. Yeah, watch it. I'm telling you, when he's flying down, if you listen closely, there's a lady's voice that said, "I told you he was Jewish," like she's talking to her friend and watching Superman come to the rescue. And she says, "I told you he was Jewish." Something along those lines. Or "I knew he was Jewish," something like that. So, yeah. Anyway, it's Friday morning. We've had a great show. And I'm not feeling the need to drink as much coffee as I normally do. Because it's, again, a little bit of cold I have, a little bit of soreness in the throat, a little congestion, little ear plugged. I was going to bring up something, but I don't want to. So I won't. But anyway, it's Friday morning, and I so appreciate you being on today and joining me for another amazing episode of Coffee with Ken. It was amazing because we had such an amazing, generous, kind audience. Good questions. Good engagement. And I want to thank you for joining today. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you had a great week. Hope you had a great night's sleep. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're loving yourself. Hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.